everybody. I said it would be short, and I promised, and I think I fulfilled that promise. We are back with week number 2 of season 4 in Unite Mike's Mayhem. We just saw an amazing match number 1. Match number 2 on the horizon. We are getting Dripp Reborn and Spinal into a lobby right now to determine who is going to be going up against Team Exile in our finals of week number 2. We had a banger of a series to start off our tournament day today. Dupesnacks, what are you looking forward to in the rest of our matches?
Honestly, I mean, we've seen Dripp a couple times here on Unite Mike's Mayhem. Spinal is a known quantity. You know, have kind of been UCS demons, right? Always landing in the top 8 of the NA region. So definitely a good measuring stick for these other teams that are in the tournament today. Awesome. I would love to see Dripp kind of transcend, elevate their game here, eliminate Spinal, because I think that will like be the proof in the pudding of the work and time that they're putting in. That's a great win for them to kind of put in that W column. And of course, it'll give us a very interesting and unique finals between Exile and Dripp.
That would be a lot of fun. Okay, so your money's on Dripp, your money's on Dripp in this situation. That'll be exciting. Well, we got to put a little bit of money on this match, and by that I mean 1 coin. We do need to flip said coin. So we need to decide what team gets choice of what side of the draft. Let's give Dripp the heads on this one, and let's give Spinal the tails.
It is heads.
Okay, sounds good. I am messaging them right now. But yeah, here we go. We'll have to see Dripp winning the coin flip. So is that fortuitous enough to call your prediction out correct?
Well, we're about to find out here. We got a best of 3 to sort that out.
Yeah, that's true. All right, sounds good. So it looks like Team Dripp Reborn have chosen first pick, which means our lobby is ready to go. As soon as our teams give that ready check, I am excited to head into this next match, Dudes Next. And I forgot to do something, by the way, at the stop, which you specifically asked me to do. Would you mind talking to everybody watching at home what our emotes are all about?
Let's go. If you are subscribed to Unite Mike's, you get our emotes, of course. Little thing we do, I know it's a September still. Is that a thing? That's a thing, I think, that the kids do. If you subscribe to Unite Mike's, do you remember?
Okay, good.
Just off the rails already. If you subscribe to Unite Mike's, it's part of our emote initiative. So if you subscribe or Amazon Prime or anything, any money that comes in by the end of the month, we donate to charity. We don't keep a dime. We're not here to make money. Gamma coming through with the big time gifting 5 subs. So make sure to say thank you to them. But if you subscribe to our channel, we donate the money. It gives you our emotes, of course, and know that the money is going to good charity. This month, we will again be sending to the Maui Food Bank, like we did. It's a community-driven thing. We know everything that they collect goes to the community. It's a non-profit, of course, and we want to support where Pokemon Worlds is going to be next year. It's not going to be in Maui specifically, but Hawaii, of course. So there you go. Bang.
Awesome. Yeah. And again, just another shout out. Thank you so much, Gamma, for the 5 gifted subs in September. Sorry, it's in my head now. It's going to be there forever.
Do you remember?
Dripp Reborn versus Spinal. Game number 1. We're going to see 2 bands that are quite popular, but we didn't see them in last game. It's going to be the Inteleon on Dripp's side and the Lapras ban on Spinal's side, opening up the Umbreon if Dripp wants it.
Oh, they want it. They lock it in quickly. We see, we're going to see Spinal, how they're going to counter punch this. We've got this is a unique Spinal squad here. We got the book. We got the book. We got Vin, Symp. I mean, they're back. We got a decent squad here on Spinal, eh?
Yeah, Spinal, I know, has been going through a bit of a rotation on their roster as of recently, playing a lot of tournaments with some new folks, trying out or just having some subs, and it looks like today, no exception. They got the book. VinDiesel and RedLuv, though, and Relentless kind of together like ever before. I'm excited to see them play it out. Symp also subbing in for this team, notably a pretty amazing Zacian player. Not locking this one in. Currently, it's on Relentless, but we'll have to see who picks up what role once we see the finality of this draft.
Well, finally a Hoopa's locked in, and Be Still My Heart. Looks like Spinal's looking to take a big W here. RedLuv locking in the Slowbro as well. So Spinal has incredibly powerful picks on their side. Dripp has 2 picks to even this thing out. We're going Buzzwole, and is it going to be a Venusaur? It is Zoinks.
Okay, so this Buzzwole, it seemingly to me is locked in every time against Zacian in the top path, which I'm yet to see it really proved. I think it's fine if you can hit 5 before Zacian can. That is huge, and then all of a sudden that feels like a bit of a steamroll for the next 3 or 4 levels, but I don't know. And yeah, there it is. The A9 locked in. Symp on a... I always say iconic Pokemon with certain players. It feels like Symp has like 3 or 4 now. I mean, they put themselves on a map with Mew in the NAIC qualifiers. I don't even know if you remember that online tournament at this point. It was so many months ago, but they were ridiculous on this Pokemon, and now they're going to be playing the A9.
I love this last pick. A9 is so good. And especially when you're talking about Hoopa portals with that delayed healing factor, being able to just create space for your team to get to that portal is going to be massive. So not only do you have now the Hoopa Astonish to facilitate that, you're going to have this Avalanche Blizzard tandem out of Symp to make sure that Vin and Relentless can get back.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you're going to have a pretty nice little option. You drop that. You can even drop that portal aggressively, of course. Wherever those 2 targets are charging towards, put down a portal just for the trebles, you know? And give them an option to get out. I'm sure that will be a viable option as well. Oh boy. Okay, so that draft is really exciting, of course. Dripp's draft, on the other hand, I mean, they have double beam. You have double beam and the Umbreon Blissey to kind of be that supporting staff. However, that supporting staff is now the old get down Mr. President style staff. We are going to need to be all protect all the time, try to slow down that Urshifu and Zacian as much as you possibly can, and allow those beams to rain hell from distance. But not going to be an easy thing to do whatsoever.
Yeah, they need to get their air quote beam demons online early. Spinal's going to have a Beamons. There you go. We did it. We did it. They're like Spinal is going to be able to pressure incredibly quickly and incredibly easily. And you have the Umbreon going for the invade here. I mean, Fraser's trying to put an invade on, but the Kubfu's getting babysat. Drip sending 2 players in. Chansey going to help out clear that thing, and they're going to be out like a thief in the night. So, Zoinks, I'm asking you here, is that going to be enough to stem the Spinal early game? Because Drip really is working against the clock to just get some time.
Yeah, they are. Oh, wow. Okay, sorry. That was a really nice Felsinger to give him just a little bit of HP, which allows Rixel to get back to the goal zone safely. Unfortunately, they are so far behind in levels right now that it is a little fruitless, you know? You get knocked out, you swing up through the path, or instead just back to the goal zone. Either way, it's going to be really tough at this 850 team fight to actually have a relevant presence on it when Relentless has already hit this level 5. Rixel still a full level away. You do have Ivysaur, though. Let's see if it's any kind of viable option. Razor Leaf takes quite a bit, so it actually allows Kristian to get that level 4 and evolve into the Blissey.
Nice counter punch here by Spinal. 3-player invade, and they're going to get a quick KO. That Blueshifu, Vin getting real deep in that speed flux zone, going to able to get the KO. And there's the spacing I was talking about, Zoinks. Now, all of a sudden, the Blueshifu can peel into the middle. Slowbro and A9 can easily hold that path down, no problem. And Spinal gets to keep putting pressure in the top as just Rixel is struggling to get to level 5.
It's very close. I have to imagine this Bunnelby will be the ticket unless that Zacian can steal it away from them. But otherwise, yeah, they're just going to have to peel back. The nice thing about Buzzwole is you can passively hit 5 as well, right? You're not evolution gated in any way. So even if you are having a bit of a troubling top path situation, you can still get to that power pick. All right, VinDiesel almost at level 7 thanks to these Swablu Altarias. They reached that break point and are now an even more formidable threat. RyanGambino hanging out in the top path, trying to cut off Rixel, who is just diligently trying to stack.
Yeah, the basements on the experience are about the same for both teams, but it's the ceiling that is getting pushed higher and higher as Spino takes the lead. Nice Astonish here, stun follow-up, Sacred Sword comes through, and that's a big KO with the boosted auto out of the Hoopa, and here come the points.
Yeah, a huge scoreline for Spinal already on the board in a major way, but a nice little Solar Beam there by Squirtle. Nice job to get that final last hit, and the scoring starts happening the other direction. We have a bit of a fight, though. RedLuv holding onto this goal zone, and JP1 bringing the troops down.
Yeah, Jungle Book summoning everybody to come down, so Baloo and crew are there to defend this thing, and that goal zone standing, good look. Mean Look traps everybody, Solar Beam comes through, Umbreon goes down, and just barely on the bucket is the Zacian. Relentless able to make it back to the goal zone.
Great call on Relentless to use that passive from Zacian on the agility to get a little bit of shielding there in a huge moment. Instead, but wow, Jungle Book down from his Solar Beam. Squirtle at level 9. The Verdant Anger is available. They're within range of the Regirock, but VinDiesel's getting a part of the action.
They try to readjust the Solar Beam, they do, and it hits true, but the players are falling like dominoes. 4 players down, yikes. The only reason Rixel didn't get bucket, of course, is because they're not there. Spinal getting tons of points in. So, I mean, Dripp got a great engagement on that basement Reggie, but at what cost? Well, their lives, like their lives.
They can never take your Reggie, but they can take your everything else. I don't know. I don't think that's how the Braveheart speech went. Either way, it's a tough situation for Dripp to be in. A decent amount of objective experience going over to everybody. I think of the most part, that's going to be helping their Umbreon Blissey, who now have both hit level 8. So just bringing up that experience floor like you were mentioning before. Big engage by Rixel. The eject button over the wall for this. That's a Bliss assistance as well. Chasing down VinDiesel, and the Unite move, the Swole Slam, is going to secure that. Once a KO streak at 2 from Rixel, they're cooking.
Yeah, make it 3. I mean, that was a quick time follow-up, and I love the chase down. Nice engagement call by Dripp. Yes, yeah. Spinal got some points in, but they got the bodies, and now the mean look Zacian is trapped. Spike him down. Absolute choke slam from hell like Kane. And now, all of a sudden, Dripp is down 40 with a heck of a lot of momentum here with 5 minutes left.
Yeah, the Beemans had some moments in the early game, and now it's the Bugman. I'm not making this demon thing work anymore. A really impressive comeback from Dripp as they secure the Regieleki as well, at least distracting a couple members of the side of Team Spinal, so they have to distract a little bit, take care of that main objective, and the rest of the team can play for information and some experience as Squirtle is going after another central area clear, currently only at level 10. That's actually quite low for a Venusaur at the 5-minute mark.
Rixel's feeling it. They're going for the engagement on the Blue Shifu by themselves. A9 pulls up the smoke, and they get frozen and absolutely crystallized off the back of that. Good look by Spinal, no problems there. Nice surf for the space, but we're going to have to wait here as the Blissey is just desperately trying to get out. Egg Bomb gets it done.
Yeah. Good rotation by Symp to try to help out their central area player. Unfortunately, Rexel's superpower didn't land. It went the opposite direction because I think the Rapid Strike went the other way.
It did indeed. Registeel at half, and we have a Hoopa Rings Unbound. That's a nice stun on top of the Venusaur to get that sorted out. There's no follow-up. That Umbreon can't get it done. Everybody that shows up is going to get put down in the meanest way possible. Nice portal for the resets, and Spinal is right back on top, grabbing all that momentum. And to me, it really began with that rixelpick confident invade, and it didn't quite get it done as all of a sudden Spinal's on top.
Yeah, it's one of those situations where you gamble, you give a bit of experience to the direction, sure. I think on paper, you're hoping the Venusaur gets rapidly up to a higher level doing so. You're like, well, I'll take this because then my Venu can go get a free clear without having to be, bullied by these enemy invaders or anything like that. But, I mean, despite that, Squirtle now only hitting level 12. At least they'll be hitting 13 this game. That's not really in question. The problem is a level 14 Urshifu that VinDiesel is currently wielding.
Well, Rixel's going for a quick 33, and if they get it, they'll get 22 over the top. Bliss Assistance out. They've got plenty of time to get that back. It's going to be all right with them. Look at where Dripp is. Umbreon kind of in no man's land. Not too concerned about that, I guess, of what's going on. But now the KOs are starting to rain in because Venusaur was left alone without their tank. The 40 points is going to have to be worth it here because now the Blissey goes down 2. That Zacian is massive, and they're going to get a heck of a counter punch as none of the points are going to rain in. Nice superpower into the Buzzwole Unite, but they get eviscerated with damage. Keeps this goal zone standing, which is ultimately the prize here. And Spinal forced to retreat just in time for the Beemans to come through and send hell into the face of Spinal.
I'm actually really impressed that held them off. I think Spinal was probably just a little worried about the reinforcements coming in from Dripp, and they didn't want to risk taking that team fight at 240 on that second tier goal zone. It provides a decent amount of shielding. So despite all the damage that Spinal could throw out, I mean, there'd be a pretty huge advantage going for Team Dripp in that situation. So shout out to Rixel for holding down that goal zone long enough, but I am going to say Spinal made a very intelligent rotation out of that. They're going to secure this Regieleki. There's 2 seconds till this final basement Reggie of the game spawns in. It's going to be here for about 20 seconds, but with Dripp's hesitancy to move towards it, I don't think any team is going to be securing this basement Reggie this time around.
No, and Dripp's not even concerning themselves with the Regieleki, and I don't like having the Blissey back there. Maybe just trying to farm up their Unite move, but Spinal has a real opportunity to get the positional advantage.
Yeah, I think it's just it. Problem is, this level 15 Urshifu is such a threat. VinDiesel not even worried about, getting caught out by a mean look or anything in this situation. I mean, you have RedLuv's backup with the slow beam if someone does try to jump on top of you, and then of course you have Relentless Zacian already hiding around on this other side. Or sorry, Relentless, yeah, ready to just cut down anyone who has to try to retreat.
Well, nice Solar Beam is half the HP bar of Symp, so they have to peel back and maybe even reset, catch a portal in some fashion. Now, I don't like where RedLuv is right now. They're by themselves, no support, half their HP gone, another beam comes through. They got 30% screened off by the A9, and that's what I was talking about. The time that the A9 can buy so they can catch a portal comes to fruition right there.
Huge play by Symp. Yeah, you called it up perfectly. That is just one avalanche that is so perfectly timed. Fraiser caught out, but they are going to get Unite move in the other direction. A ton of Unite moves capitalize on top of each other as Spinal takes the engage.
Bliss Assistance gets ripped in half, and onto the Venusaur is absolutely wasted. Nice follow-up by the A9. Of course, the Buzzwole Unite is used, but to no avail here. RedLuv goes for the score. They're going to go Hundo Burger in very easily. The rings are unbound. Look how far away JB is from the middle there. They were pressuring the goal zone looking to score, forcing the Mew to jump to the middle. Meanwhile, Symp is ripping through this Rayquaza. Here comes the damage follow-up. Mew's here for the save. Too late. Zacian seals it up. Spinal's going to seal up game one.
Yeah, I think this Mew had Surf equipped to try to get to the Rayquaza pit a little bit faster out of spawn. And just unfortunately not the best secure option when you're trying to charge through. Solar Beam also tough when you're that far away with absolutely no vision. So Spinal holding on to this lead in the game number one. It really felt like it was their game from the beginning. Team Dripp really playing on the back foot this whole time thanks to that Venusaur scaling and just honestly an amazing top path performance from the side of Spinal from, Relentless and Vin.
No, it was terrific. Well thought out. Now, Rixel did have an amazing mid-game moment there, able to get that KO streak of 3 and really rally the troops around them. Blissey came alive there as well with the support. And then all of a sudden, like you said, they tried to buy a little bit more time for Squirtle on the Venusaur. It didn't really resonate very well. It didn't really do what it was supposed to, but instead it gave up Rixel a KO. And now all of a sudden Spinal swooped down, and despite Dripp taking the second baseman Reggie, Spinal took everything else.
Yeah, well done from Spinal. Also, if you're watching in Twitch chat right now, make sure to put !join if you want your chance at a Blaziken license. It is close, quick, only 3 minutes on the Stream Elements timer. So get in there, !join if you want a chance at winning that code. But right now, Spinal with a very solid chance of winning this match, currently up 1-0 in this situation. Team Dripp on the back foot in a major way. Dupes next.
Yeah, they need to go back to the drawing board a little bit. To their credit, they didn't let the early game slide too much, despite what they were trying to do. However, it just took Squirtle just a little too long to become an impactful character, and by then it was a little late. You can call into question maybe some of the late game theatrics of going for the back caps where Umbreon was nowhere to be seen. Fortunately, Rixel got their points and was able to back and protect a goal zone 4v1 somehow. So tip of the cap for that. But ultimately, it just felt like Spinal was a little bit more cohesive, whereas Dripp was a little more disjointed.
It's so interesting when we talk about Spinal and them being cohesive, right? Because you're absolutely right. The communication to pull off some of the plays they're making is paramount. It is one of the most important skills that they need to utilize. However, if you're just watching an average Spinal game, the biggest thing that comes to mind from me is just, great 1v1s. Like, they're winning every single one of their ones. Vin is coming away with every Urshifu duel. They're taking down Buzzwoles. They're taking down Venusaurs, taking down Mews. And Relentless is just winning a top path battle. With a bit of a support duo, of course. But for the most part, I just feel like every single time they're winning. However, when you start watching their map rotations and when they flank, what Unite moves they use on engages, who pulls the trigger first, who they target, that there is a huge level of team coordination that is going in an underlying fashion for Team Spinal. So, really, really awesome to see that evidenced in this professional setting.
I love that too. I love that too. You mentioned 1v1s, but that doesn't mean that they're not playing as a team, right?
Correct. Absolutely.
You have to do that as well. The 1v1s help, right? Great hero moments, but playing as a team helps. And there was no better or stronger indication of a game-saving play, in my opinion, than RedLuv that was at 30% HP with the Blizzard Avalanche coming out to get RedLuv out of there, back through the portal and full HP so that Spinal could fight as a 5-person unit. Because if RedLuv goes down there, they're going down with their Unite move, and now it's a 5v4 with the chains are off every single character on Dripp. They can just go banana lands, right? Without fear of the slow beam.
Yeah, you're absolutely. It really is one of the most important parts of that match. It's one of my favorite parts about Unite in general, actually, is like these final moments that hinge on these little things are just huge in a 10-minute game. Like that one moment, there's probably 5 moments like that throughout the match, but they're so big that they stand out in your mind so much. I really like this game, Dupes Next.
It's good. In competitive setting, looks pretty good. Zacian and Lapras find themselves on the bench here.
Interesting. Okay.
Not surprised after that a team like Spinal goes with Inteleon.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense. And to be fair, Dripp gave it to them. So, reminder to everybody, our format, Team Dripp has the choice of first or second draft pick, and they actually opted into second pick. They wanted to get that powerful support duo of the Blissey Umbreon, and well, they have it. Spinal taking away the Slowbro. RedLuv, obviously a really phenomenal defender player, is grabbing that Slowbro, and they're giving some decent options over the side of Dripp. We're going to see a Zoroark come out for the side of Dripp. They want some kind of option to chase down knockouts onto the enemy attackers, an immediate response pick of the Blastoise.
I love Spinal's comp, not gonna lie to you. I mean, they have a spin to win Blastoise opportunity here with Hoopa portals. I mean, it doesn't get much easier than that in terms of like easy engagements.
Yeah.
I mean, it's literally cookie cutter, right? Squirtle locking and Leafeon, not bad. They're gonna have that Solar Blade for big secures as well as just raining in damage from a decent distance. But that distance is incredibly easily closed by Vin and Relentless.
2 completely different schools of thoughts in terms of team composition. I mean, on Spinal, we have that double defender, which is going to be playing sort of front to back in this scenario. You have Symp to level up damage on the Inteleon. That cursed incense got that anti-heal item, so does RedLuv. They're going to slowly chip away at the enemy targets, and then VinDiesel and is going to be able to charge in and get some moments. But honestly, their composition is built up around team fights. Slowbro Unite, Blastoise Unite, even Hoopa Unite for big stuns. Those are going to be Spinal's bread and butter. Dripp on the other side is playing dive. We are going to see Mean Look and then the target who is caught in that circle just giga explode. Zoroark, Leafeon, A9. Like there's going to be just every cannon in the game pointed in that Pokemon's direction all at the same time. So very different compositions built here. I'm excited to see these two clash in this game number 2. Obviously, Spinal had the better showing in game number 1. It's going to be up to Dripp to up a lot of parts of their game, but at the very least, they're trying something brand new.
They are. My only concern, again, is the Hoopa sitting on the other side. If you're trying to Mean Look somebody down, if your damage output isn't fast enough, a portal just materializes under that thing, and that person is blinked out into safety. So Dripp really needs to be coordinated with these engagement. It needs to be Mean Look, and Zoroark is already on its way in before that thing hits the ground.
Exactly. And we're taking a look at the clear from the side of Team Dripp. It is going to be Squirtle in tandem with Kristian, who's going to be going with the Blissey, making sure that the level 4 is achieved as quickly as possible. And that's a sub 30-second clear for that one buff. Not too bad. And they're going to invade immediately. Interesting.
I like that. The Kubfu is left alone, so go with your Chansey in your pocket here and see what kind of damage you can do, and they've got a real opportunity here. Where you see the Sobble peeling up to try and support as Rixel is just 2v1ing in the top path, or at least getting 1v to 2v1'd, I guess is the way they're here. But it looks like Leafeon's going to make it out with a buff here for this effort.
Yeah, they're going to be able to score as well. It's 10 points going into that top one. And of course, Leafeon, one of the best scaling damage dealers in the game. Like, thanks to that Solar Blade buff that happened, oh gosh, months ago now, the scaling numbers are ridiculous. So attack weight, definitely an item you are going to be seeing a lot of on this Leafeon.
Yeah, you can see what Dripp is doing. All of a sudden now Rixel peels down to the middle, gets themselves a red buff, and they can find a good engagement here. The Hoopa's there, Solar Blade comes out, and it just forces Relentless to peel back to the goal zone, and JB1 bites the bullet for the team. But this damage is massive that they can produce here, actually forcing up the Urshifu to peel up and deal some damage. Vin gets the spacing and forces out Leafeon. Zoroark gonna watch and just from a distance here get whatever experience they can, and I cannot believe this Blissey's still standing. Good for Kristian to get the time that Dripp needs.
Just like in VGC, every time you attack a Blissey, you think it's gonna be going down, but somehow that HP pool just resists. Kind of ridiculous. But Spinal have now done this twice. In games 1 and 2, this Urshifu has rotated into the bottom path initially, kind of just trusting their top path to handle it, but instead wanting to find a more easy KO. At least in their mind. But this time around, I think Team Dripp playing off it extremely well. It means their Zoroark and their Leafeon, so their double speedsters are both getting huge stacks because of it, and are actually in very good fighting position. I mean, yeah, Rixel isn't 7, but still a lot of attack damage is flooded their way.
Without a doubt. And now Kristian getting a little too far forward here, and that's going to be an easy cleanup job here. And the KO going to the war total is massive. They just ticked it. Relentless just ticking over to 7 is huge for them. A preemptive portal down to make sure that Vin can get out. They do. The question is, are they going to roll back through? They are. They're jumping on top of these birds. We've got 7 minutes, and it doesn't look like there's too much priority on the basement Reggie as nobody's trying to pivot, but we know Spinal can do that a heck of a lot easier.
They can rotate really quick. However, what Dripp has is they can KO something real quick. The Emerald 2-step is available. Only Unite move in the game is in the hands of Squirtle, and of course it is essentially an OHKO button at this point in the game. You click that one, you're hoping to find a knockout. Hoopa and Inteleon, both targets that can get absolutely eradicated by that devastating dance moves. But instead, Regice going to be the target for now, as currently a very good advantage to the side of Dripp, but it's going to be JB1 finding that secure.
Hyperspace hole locks it down. Solar Blade doesn't deal enough damage. Now Dripp is trying to look for an opportunity. Nice little Astonish to just bubble out the rest of Dripp as they're looking to do anything, but looking to do work here is, of course, Vin using their Unite move. KO Streak, a 2 for them, and the Leafeon has to try and hold this down with the help of a struggling Blissey that gets just boosted autoed in half.
Yep, I mentioned that Leafeon was the only one with a Unite. Well, about midway through that team fight, whenever that Reggie was secured, all of that changed. Urshifu Unite was online, and, well, we've seen what Vin can do with basically any ability on this Blue Shifu, much less the Unite move. Vin just carving through that backline. Truly, like, making the case for Vin as one of the best Urshifu players in this region.
It certainly has looked great today in Unite Mike's Mayhem, and despite the effort here from RyanGambino, they cannot keep that goal zone from going down. 205 to 74 for Spinal early, and Dripp getting a consolation. I was going to say, Spinal getting a consolation Reggie Alecki. By consolation, I mean free. What am I talking about?
I suppose those are kind of the same definition. Hydro Typhoon, eject button, capitalizing, only knocks up one. The Alola Ninetale sent sky high, but the Umbreon passive able to avoid most of that crowd control.
Jesus, come on. Stun, and then with the Vin follow-up, JB and Vin working very well in tandem. Nice little just Moonraker laser there from the Hoopa, and Vin finds everything else. Those two take out the whole team, and now more points are getting absolutely rained into that Tier 2 goal zone.
Yep, Tier 2 shattered. I mean, I was talking about this in the draft screen earlier when we were seeing the load-in screen. This is a team that their Unite moves and team fighting potential is just so absurdly high. I mean, when any member of this team presses that ZL button, it might be curtains for the other side if they can land those hits. I mean, Urshifu Unite just sweeps through your entire front and back line, seemingly. Blastoise Unite is just devastating. But here we go. Dripp finding another chance back in this game. Relentless caught out a little bit. With 4 members, they are going to be able to find that knockout. Jungle Book in range for the support, but decides to peel back, does not want to get KO'd themselves.
Yeah, I'm watching where Jungle Book is. They're in the top path. I was thinking maybe they'd pull Vin up top, but no, they're going to actually have them babysit the bottom path along with RedLuv, who looks to be just kind of hanging out in the tall grass. Leafeon for Dripp. I think that's Squirtle going to go try and make a play, but they're going to get collapsed on very quickly as rixelpick is looking for any opportunity to feel relevant. And nice surf attempt locks down It locks down Fraser, and tons of damage is just being shelled. Like, poor Kristian and Fraser just getting eaten alive on behalf of Dripp right now.
Yeah, we talked about how hard their job is going to be, and I mean, I can't think of a better way to emphasize that than that final team fight. RedLuv going to slow beam this Leafeon in the enemy flux zone as the Blastoise decides to Beyblade back towards the enemy home base. I mean, Spinal with just what seemingly is a red carpet in terms of this matchup, with a very solid score lead, over 200 points, a huge level lead across the board. Urshifu now hitting level 14 as the support core just can't seem to do the damage needed to knock out a Blastoise, and well, if you can't find the Blastoise, Urshifu's just going to come and get recompense.
I cannot believe this Blastoise again is still standing. The resiliency and just the stoutness of the Spinal squad is being shown on display over and over again, because all they need to do is just get enough time for Vin to show up, because Vin closes the door on all of those shenanigans real quick.
On the fast track to 15 as well. I mean, they're almost at that break point already. 2 minutes and 47 seconds left in the match. This Regieleki is probably the only one that's going to get any more spotlight on our stream in this specific game. Rixel with a big engage, though.
Yeah, JB has to grab a portal, but they are getting Vind really quickly. Relentless in the front lines, just rapid spin water spout all over, shelling and damage. Nice backdoor surf by RedLuv to cut out the escape, and now the players are going down. Relentless is the first one, but Vin is looking for the rest of the Dripp squad. 2 players down, they take the Regieleki. That thing's going to storm all the way to home base, Zoinks.
Yeah. I mean, like we said, with this dive composition, damage was never the problem. Like, they're going to be able to find a knockout onto Blastoise or something like that. It's just the stalwartness that doesn't exist. They just have no stopping power when it comes to these team fights, as the enemy is going to swing in with a whole lot more than just one member. Rayquaza on the field and now might be the subject of attention. Damage is certainly there for Dripp Reborn. Maybe they can swipe this one away.
Yeah, but instead we got a little backdoor action. You can see where JB is, and there we're going to go with the Yamada play. But is there even enough points to make that worth it? That's the question. Talion, Urshifu roll through. They get their points in. We're pivoting right back to the middle. They're trying to rip this thing. No way JB just got that.
No.
Rixel steals it up, and now they have to pivot. Tons of points can go in. They're down by 500, so they need every single person to get all of their buckets in very quickly. But do they have enough Eos energy? That's the question. Rixelpick's shield is shattered, and they are not going to make it out as they're slow beamed to death. And now A9 is in the top path. They're going to get in a paltry 62 points, and this lead is going to be insurmountable, Zoinks.
Yeah, Fraser sees the Hoopa portal, knows that they don't want to push towards it, and, well, a minute left in the game, and an over a 300-point lead for Spinal. Yamada paying off in a huge way. You questioned the amount of points they had. I think with the lead they were going into that final moment with, that enough was able to capitalize on it. Hondo Burger goes in for the Umbreon, and, well, Dripp Reborn keeping their hopes alive, but again, 40 seconds left in this match, and such a huge mountain to climb. It looks like Spinal's game right now.
It does. 40 seconds, like you said, left. They're looking for an opportunity to push here. Rixel's calling for everybody to jump down to the bottom path. Let's do it together. Let's end on our own terms here. Quickly picking up some more Eos energy, but the engagement already begins. The liquidations are out. The damage is reined in, and Spinal is defending this goal zone. 8 points ain't going to make a dent in that, Chief, as JB astonishes everybody out of the hyperspace hole. Make sure they can't coalesce around it. There's only 2 players down for Spinal, but the war rages on. Nice engagement by Rixel.
Yeah,
he's looking for some KOs. They're able to get a little bit, but just too much. I mean, there's just too much.
Yeah, there was a couple of moments of brilliance there, I think, for Dripp Reborn, but in the end, I mean, the squad that Spinal brought today just seems to be too formidable, as they are going to take this matchup 2-0. Looking quite clean. Excited to see them in our next matchup, as, yeah, what a game from them. Back-to-back, really strong performances. 14 knockouts for Vin.
Vin on this Urshifu is a problem. Teams need to learn and adjust very, very quickly.
Yeah.
Again, shining lights here. I mean, I think Rixel was looking for some opportunities, but ultimately they just didn't have the sustain to stay in the pocket and really contend with what Spinal was doing. And a great draft out of Spinal. I mean, it kind of felt like the writing was on the wall right after that draft screen.
I completely agree. Like I said, it was Dripp trying something brand new, but I think maybe they just felt a bit uncomfortable with how the game number 1 went, wanted to try a brand new look. In the end, it just kind of allowed Spinal to have a really, really solid draft. I mean, Urshifu and Talion, Slowbro, and if you're asking Dupes next Hoopa, I mean, that's a kind of a banger lineup. Unbelievable. All right, well, everybody, we are going to be jumping to a very short break as we get our winners match all queued up, but it's going to be the final one of tonight, and it is going to be Team Exile versus Team Spinal. I honestly am so excited for this matchup. I think it's going to be really, really great. How about you, Dupes next? You pumped?
I'm jacked up. Spinal, again, is the measuring stick of this Week 2 Unite Mike's Mayhem of Season 4. If any of these kind of upstart teams can take down Spinal, that is a huge win in the win column. We said that before, and I truly believe that. Spinal, on the other hand, no free wins going out tonight. Nope. There's money on the line, baby.
$100 cash waiting the winner of this next matchup, so don't go anywhere. Very short break headed your way.